welcome. So, the past day or so, I've been playing around with these live streams, something I've never really done before. I don't really have a great audience to do it, to be quite honest with you, but realistically, I've got quite a big task or two to fulfill in Elite Dangerous at the moment, and that namely is breaking into the colony expansion, building a colony out in my little part just outside the bubble. So having a kind of metric, say metric, I don't think is the right word, but dynamic to try and break out of the having to just do it on my own and motivate myself. I found that the idea of having a live stream really helped me trying to do that. Just trying to bring up the chat window in game. There we go. That's it. So I've got a little overlay just with the chat window in it, just so I can see if anybody does join the live stream and actually starts sending messages. I can actually see them in game, which would be quite helpful. So yeah, it was an idea of something I've been toying with for quite a while, is to do live streams and create some content regarding the games that I play. I'm currently going on some investigation for some personal issues, namely autism, so it's kind of... Games have always been something that kind of consumed a lot of my life, caused a lot of problems for me, so I'm very keen not to do that. I'm just trying out some new things and seeing how I can potentially get my dopamine hit from the games I want to play, but also at the same time trying to regulate myself a little bit. And in theory, doing live streams could be a good way of doing that, or doing content and stuff like that, because where there's a structure and a specific purpose in what I'm doing, might actually kind of guide me to put down the game for a little bit and actually go and do something else that I actually need to do. So yeah, that's kind of the idea of it. Now, over the last couple of days, I've been kind of toying around with Streamlabs, the free version, because who knows, this might not be something that I carry on doing. It might just be a bit of a toying phase. But yeah, I've been playing around with Streamlabs a little bit, and also kind of the YouTube streaming sort of panels, I don't know what you call them, the kind of user interface through YouTube for your own content. Having a look at the analytics now, currently don't get an awful lot of views on these live streams, which is okay to me. It's an option for people to come in and view. If they want to come and have a look at the live stream, they can do. I realise there's plenty of people out there who that's their thing, myself included. I do enjoy watching other people's live streams, particularly some of the people who maybe aren't well known in the industry. So obviously we all know about you know, people like Yamix and stuff like that, who regularly post content and do live streams. Their live streams are obviously quite well thought out and developed. They've got a fan base that's grown over the years, and I don't for a moment envisage of trying to emulate or get anywhere close to that. So playing around with the metrics on YouTube and the analytics, kind of noticed that a couple of you have viewed these videos after the stream has ended. So the last couple of videos has been kind of me not really talking or anything like that, because I've been every now and then tabbing out just to have a look at the viewer count, which at this moment in time is showing 0 viewers. Whether or not that is a true reflection of what is actually going on or not, I'm not 100% sure, because this is all very new to me. But yeah, some people have been watching these streams after they've aired, and I didn't realise initially that that was something that people were interested in doing. I kind of had this idea that live streams were just for the event, and then afterwards nobody would ever watch them. I'm sure there's probably a difference to that and purely pre-recorded content, but I think it kind of shocked me, to be quite honest. So with that in mind, I'm going to be mindful to try and actually make this content a little bit more engaging whilst I'm actually playing the game and whilst I'm actually streaming live. At this moment in time, I don't have any plans to create pre-recorded content. That's something for far in the future. I used to do some pre-recorded content for some other games, and I'm very cognizant of the fact that it's a very time-demanding, and also the logistics of like actually pre-recording the footage, editing it, creating loads of massive files on the desktop, which, to be quite honest with you, is more time than I've actually got to put into this sort of thing at the moment. So I'm gonna do my best. Just breaking into this really is kind of a bit for my own benefit, kind of give me something to do and keep me motivated and occupied whilst I'm conducting quite a big task in game. And hey, if it gets some views and people like the content and they want me to do more, then I might do that. I might break into it a little bit more and carry on with the content as much as I can do. But I'm by no means looking to be a professional gamer, streamer, whatever they would be called. No means looking to do that at this moment in time. It'd be an awesome job to get paid by YouTube to play games, but I don't think that's something that really is fitting with my lifestyle at the moment. I have my own job, got family and stuff like that, and those things obviously take priority. So enough of me waffling on anyway. So the big task that I'm currently conducting in game. So if I open up my galaxy map, I'll talk to you a little bit about my current operations. So over here, I didn't play Elite Dangerous for so long. I kind of dropped out of it for a while because of things that were going on in my personal life. Why is that not showing now? It's because I kind of need to do this, don't I? Let's have a look. View system map. So yeah, I didn't play Elite Dangerous for so long. I don't say I got bored of it. I played it since it launched, and I've enjoyed all the features and the content that's been pushed to the game since launch. There's nothing really that I've ever turned around and gone, I don't like. But I suppose I'm a little bit older now and a little bit wiser, and yeah, I can see a lot of flaws in the game, and I can see a lot of issues that genuinely do annoy me nowadays. Yamix talks a lot about like the pay-to-win element and stuff like that. I mean, I totally agree. Now I'm a little bit of a hypocrite in that because I have gone and bought the Panther Clipper, but knowing what I do now, I probably would have held off on that. But that was kind of an impulse buy from me, not really, only just breaking back into the game. Saw that there was this brand new ship coming out, looked like a pretty decent cargo hauler. I wanted it. I'm I wanted it. And especially with a ship kit and stuff like that came on. But now, knowing what I do now, I think that was probably not my wisest decision. But hey ho, money's already been changed and I've got it now. So, but I've no plans to buy any newer ships that come in. So anyway, this is my colony system in the Call 285 sector. Now, I'll have to read up and read into a lot of the kind of the game mechanics as to how these colonies work. This is kind of just my have a go and do it. But that being said, I've kind of fucked up a little bit in that I'm building, I think it's called the Orbis starport, which is probably one of the most expensive ones in terms of the materials to actually build as your first port. I realise now I probably should have just stuck with an outpost and then built another station later on. But that being said, we're 15% progress at the moment. We've still got 3 weeks to go. Now, I've managed to kind of get through most of the smaller quantities of materials. I think what you're seeing on screen now, the aluminium, the steel, the titanium, water, computer composites and CMM composites, I think that is all I've got left to get. But as you can see from the numbers of those, there's quite a lot of those to obtain. Two of the easiest ones I think to obtain are going to be the computer composites and the water are going to be my easiest ones to actually just get them onto the colonization ship and then done. The rest of the components, the aluminium, the C&M composites, especially considering the current ongoing community goal, yeah, they're gonna be a little bit more difficult. Now, that being said, I have found a system where I've been quite lucky to jump my fleet carrier right next to the station that's actually selling aluminium, and that's going to be my goal for today, is going to be getting as much aluminium onto my fleet carrier as I possibly can. Now, I also realise that this isn't probably the best way of going about it. Whether it's efficient or not, I don't know. But this is the way I'm going to do it. Is I'm going to go to the station, which is Arcaria, I think it's pronounced, Arcaria Station. I'm going to go to the station and currently got a maximum of 1024 tons of cargo to use. Stock up on the cargo, jump back to my carrier, drop it off, rinse, repeat. And we're going to do that until I get a significant amount. I may get bored halfway through this, in which case we might go and kill some pirates. It's a thing. But we'll see how we go. So, for now...
Landing clamps disengaged, and you're away.
In terms of a ship to actually enjoy flying, I'm quite happy with the fact that I've got it in terms of a ship that I actually enjoy. I would say once I've had some time to engineer it and do a little bit more with it, could become a go-to ship for most things. It's got potential to be a multi-role ship. I know it's not intended as that, but it's got potential. Combat performance, well, it's quite sluggish. Of course it is. It's a massive freighter. But I still think that it could potentially hold its own in a bit of a fight with some wise engineering. Now, I've had a couple of experiences of gankers just absolutely vaporizing me. Because I thought I'd play in open for a little bit. It happened. Whatever. But yeah. I quite like it as a ship, but it's not... I think it'd be interesting to see what people do with it. That's pretty much where I'm going with it. Now, in terms of actually landing it, whoa! Now I realise a lot of people seem to think that the landing computer is a must with this ship. Definitely makes things easier. That being said, I don't use one. I don't know what it is, I just find that the having the computer dock the ship for you, while it is easier and you know, you save on time. I mean, I've had a couple of glitches with it where it's ended up getting stuck, I'm not gonna lie. But I just don't like how it takes away from the actual experience of flying the ship. I mean, say what you will about Frontier, someone has programmed into this ship its flight dynamics, and they've picked those flight dynamics for a reason. And whereas I think they come into being quite prevalent is when you're trying to land and take off. So, with that in mind,
cargo hold at maximum capacity.
I like to do it manually. Now, that also kind of forces you to kind of think about what you're doing with the ship, because it does not stop when you want to stop. Hitting 0 throttle, you're going to coast for quite a little bit. For a significant distance. So it's forcing me to kind of learn how to fly this ship, which I feel like I'm getting the hang of quite a bit. Docking at different stations, docking... See, I just bumped into something there. That's frustrating. And if I don't careful, I'm going to get the landing pad warning. Yeah, docking at various different stations and planetary ports and things like that. The skills required are slightly different depending on each port you go into. Like for instance, docking with a starport like this, I tend to take it really nice and slow. In fact, I take it nice and slow with pretty much anywhere where I'm docking, to be quite honest with you. But particularly in an Orbis starport where we've got the mail slot. Now, this ship is big enough that you're going to get stuck in that mail slot if you're not careful. Now, there is a little bit of a degree where the game helps you out a little bit, I've noticed, as you're going through the mail slot. If you get it lined up reasonably okay, the game will give you a nudge in the right direction. I'm using that to my advantage as much as I can do. But if you don't get the angle right and the game can't compensate for that, you're guaranteed to strike the tail or strike one of the engine nacelles or something like that. You're gonna end up colliding and getting stuck quite easily. So that's something to watch out for. So with that in mind, what I normally do is I normally take it nice and slow. I will stay well below the blue line on the throttle. Just take it nice and slow as I get out there. Now, docking at a surface port largely depends on the gravity of the planet. So far I've been fairly lucky, and I've not really taken this to a planet more than around about 0.3 Gs. I've taken it to one planet where it is about 1.02, and the difference in the control authority, especially when dropping out of the glide mode, is, wow, there is a massive difference. This ship's got so much mass, and yes, its engines are overpowered, but I feel like they are pushing against the laws of physics.
granted. We look forward to
So pad
welcoming
2,
you to our
just gonna
carrier.
put some... Now, docking at mega ships,
Please double
I
check your
am
landing gear.
massively screwing this one up, is also another issue.
Deployed.
Now, it's not so much a problem with your own fleet carrier, but particularly when docking with the colonization ship or any of the trailblazers, I feel there's a bit of an oversight. Now, this ship demands respect when you're flying it. You've got to, all your inputs are going to have to be quite controlled, going to have to be quite
Landing successful.
deliberate,
Commence shutdown.
and
Welcome to our carrier, Commander.
you're also kind of going to have to think of planning it ahead, what you're going to do. I'm akin to flying this ship as like trying to fly a 747 compared to most other ships in the game being either fighter jets or light aircraft. There is a massive difference.
Clamps
So
released.
typically what
Launch
I'll
confirmed.
do pretty much in any instance of where I'm looking to land somewhere is I will kind of plan out what I'm going to do before I land in this ship. Other ships kind of just wing it, maybe try and make it look a bit cool. But this ship in particular, I have to plan it out. Now docking at colonization ships and things like that is a real issue sometimes because you kind of got to be slow and take it at a pace, because if you go too fast you're going to struggle to regain that authority and slow down and accurately land on the landing pad. But at the same time, if you go too fast you're risking getting a fine for bumping into something, which is a real risk with this ship. It's very big, and those engine pods are actually further out to the sides than you think they are. And I'd say most of the collisions with the collision boxes I have are with those engine pods striking something. And then the second most, I'd say, probably the tail. Now, I've got so many fines from those colony ships trying to land this thing because I'll get pad warnings, I'll get speed warnings and stuff like that. It's very difficult because I think the only way to do it 100% safe is kind of similar to what I do in the Coriolis starports, I think. So, paying attention to the flashing little compass next to the picture of the space station, that kind of fixates, once you go through the mail slot, that fixates on the center of the landing pad that you're assigned to. You'll see it jump. There it goes, it's jumped. So that fixates on that. The closer it is to the center, the further away it is. Now you see it's that 25 landing pad up ahead is what I'm going for. I'm just going to drop my landing gear, it'll kind of slow me down a little bit. So just try and line up with the back of the station there. That little dot, once it reaches the bottom of the globe, you're fairly lined up with the center of the pad. It's usually directly below you. It'll eventually, that little white dot will turn black once you go past it. So there's probably good enough. I'm going to cut throttle there and then start descending. And see how close I am to the actual centre of the pad. Alright, so I'm probably drifting a little bit behind. Yep, so I'm not too far away. Yeah, a little bit of a correction. Now once I'm actually inside the confines of the pad, there's no pad warnings I'm going to get, and that's the same for the mega ships as well. And that's kind of, I think, the only safe way to do it with a mega ship with this, unless you really want to risk getting fined and stuff. It's not so much of a problem with the Brewer Corporation because the mega ships don't really give you any other options than to just drop off materials at your own colony, that is. But yeah.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
So eventually I can speed this up a little bit and just get into a little bit of a rhythm. I'm trying to talk to you guys as well, just give a little bit of content to the footage for the time being. But yeah, that's my impressions of the ship. I like it. Kinda wish I hadn't paid for it though. But that was my own naivety and being really impatient, especially when in a couple months everyone will be able to get a ship anyway. Maybe not without ship kits, but well, it's not a big problem, is it? So I have got SRV bay on this, with 2 SRVs in it. That might be a stupid idea to some. It is the only ship that does have both, for me though. And I've got a fighter bay as well. I suppose if I get rid of most of those I can probably massively bump up the internal storage of the ship. But at the moment in the community go on the top 25%, so with there being the reward of having the pre-engineered cargo slots from that, I'm not massively worried about internal cargo space right now.
Permission granted. A landing pad has been assigned to you, Commander.
Pad 7, so that's going to be halfway along. See, I cut throttle there, and how far forward I'm drifting is nearly the full length of the landing pad itself.
Scan detected.
So it's very difficult to actually gauge where you're going to stop in this thing. Eventually I think I'll get used to it, but
Contact confirmed. Commence shutdown. Welcome to our carrier, Commander.
yeah, but if anyone joining the stream's got any kind of suggestions
Clamps released. Launch confirmed.
Retracted.
of how to, you know, just assume like I'm a new player, because, I mean, although I've played this game from launch, it's been so long since I've played it, I've forgotten most of what I do. I used to be quite knowledgeable about the mechanics of the game and what, you know, what needed to be done where, and things like that, when I was properly playing this like every single day. It's been so long, some things have changed. I've just forgotten it all. So yeah, if any of you do have any ideas or suggestions for what I'm doing, something to you looks like I'm wasting my time, or you know, I'm open to criticism. Just drop a comment, give me a suggestion. I'll take it on board. I might not do it because some things I prefer to do things my way. But yeah, if you've got anything, because the amount of information out there about Elite Dangerous is ridiculous. The amount of videos, it's not as if it's something I could do in an afternoon and just browse around.
You are cleared for access. Please
Right, so now I'm
continue
going
to
to just
bay
drop to below
02.
100.
Scan detected.
particularly as in this ship are going through the mail slot, because you know, if there's something else to greet you on the other side and you hit them at over 100, then that's an instant fine. Okay, just going to drop the landing gear. Just watching for that little ball.
Landing gear deployed.
That's probably good enough. So I'm just going to start dropping. Yeah, see how it just turned black in the middle there? That means I've just crossed over the front now. It's just turned to white, so I should be pretty much dead on. There you go, dead on the centre. Yeah, it seems to, if you look at it like this at the moment, so that's pretty much perfectly lined up with the centre there. Maybe just a little bit forward. Yeah, that's perfectly lined up. That little ball is completely filled in. You start just going a little bit past. There you go, it's just turned again. So, you know you're somewhere in the right region when that changes. And that was a mechanic, that little compass thing. That was a mechanic I completely forgot about until I was watching it one day while I was trying to land this behemoth. And I realised what it actually meant again. I've always used it to line up planets and stuff like that while I've been in Super Cruise, but I'm just gonna grab a quick drink while I
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
right. Just tab out for 1 second. Cool. Right, so we got full cargo hold again. I'm gonna make another trip back. It's riveting stuff, this. And just to think, you guys come here to watch this shit, even when the live stream's ended.
Uncoupling complete. All clear, Commander.
Landing gear retracted.
For me, I kind of just imagine with this ship, in reality, a ship this big would not have just one pilot crew member. A ship this big is too big for just one person, which is a little bit immersion breaking. But when you think about it, I think the ASP itself, just the ASP, is actually bigger than a 747 jumbo jet. This is like, in terms of like overall probably physical mass, this is probably one of the largest ships in the game. But this, the Cutter, the Corvette, those are probably around about the size of a nuclear submarine. I'm gonna say that's just a guesstimate, but in terms of length, hull mass, that sort of thing, probably looking around about that size of vessel. And those things usually have, you know, a couple hundred crew members easily. But when you think about, if you've ever watched any documentaries, particularly with submarines, if you've ever watched any documentaries like the US Navy or anything like that, when they invite someone on board the submarine, like a journalist or something like that, and they happen to film it, there's a couple of videos out there that you can look at. I think Smarter Every Day did one, where he went on to he went to like an Arctic camp and ended up having getting a ride on a US Navy submarine.
Request confirmed.
But the
Proceed to your
coordination
landing
that
pad,
it
Commander.
takes on the bridge of those vessels to do simple tasks, like even what you would perceive as being relatively simple, like submerging the submarine, actually incredibly complex in reality. But that's kind of what I imagine this ship like in terms of how it would get flown in reality. With your with your smaller ships and stuff like that, yeah, you could probably see them being run by one or two people, in which case all your inputs to that ship are going to be from your head directly to the control surfaces. With a ship like this, I would imagine it'd be more like a central person in command giving instructions to people one after the other. Now you can't give two instructions at once, you have to give one instruction after the other. So that's kind of where like flying this ship and doing things manually rather than relying on an autopilot kind of comes into play for me. I think it's like kind of like
Clamps released. Ship has liftoff.
with some other ships I might put 2 or 3 inputs in at the same time. This ship I tend to do 1,
Scan detected.
2 at the most. But it's like if I'm, let's say I just took off and okay, so first step is vertical thrust. Engage the vertical thrust, lift the ship up, then engage the throttle, then disengage the landing gear, then it might be some lateral thrust followed by. Whereas with another ship, I might do all those things almost simultaneously. My experience with this ship is that doesn't do very well with this ship. It seems to be like, because you're also having to account for the fact that this ship is incredibly heavy and is going to drift, and you kind of got to plan out your inputs in advance. Doing stuff like that, it's a lot of stuff to kind of account for later on down the road, especially when you cut the engines and you've still got loads of inertia to get rid of.
You are cleared for access. Please set course for docking bay 25.
So I didn't do much hauling yesterday, as you'll see from the live streams that went out yesterday. I did 2 of them yesterday. I won't be doing that again.
Scan detected.
So yeah, I'm scraping on the inside of the mail slot because I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I did 2 live streams yesterday. I think that's probably too much. So yeah, probably not going to be doing that again. But I didn't do any calling yesterday, apart from maybe a couple of little bits, and that was it. Mostly yesterday, I bought myself is it the Imperial Corvette or the newish like fighter version? I liked the look of it because to me it looks like something. It literally looks like something out of Star Trek. It's like a Romulan warbird or something like that. So yeah, I bought that. I quite liked it. I just need to kind of work out how to outfit it a little bit better, and then massively engineered it. So we're done here, getting some of these on board the Roach, then we'll probably jump back to that.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
So far we're pushing 3,000 materials, and I think I need 40,000 or something like that. So at least 1,000 per trip. It's gonna be, I mean, plus 24, it's probably gonna be about 39, 40 trips just to fill up with this. And I don't think my cargo hold on the fleet carrier can actually hold that much material anyway.
Ship is released. You may leave the docking area when ready.
Landing gear retracted.
But yeah, welcome to Elite. Spend countless hours going back and forth between two places, transporting imaginary materials, commodities.
Scan detected.
It's kind of like Space Trucking Simulator, but without the actual mechanics to make that gameplay fun. Oh yeah. I don't actually mind kind of grinding, and I don't mind hauling and stuff like that as a general rule. But I think there's a slight difference between doing it yourself for profit and doing it to build, to deliver these materials to a colony. Now you do get financially reimbursed
Just so you know,
when you get there.
is in effect.
So when you actually deliver these materials, you do get financially reimbursed by the colony ship. But I think it pays out at market value. I might be mistaken on that, I've not actually looked into it, but I think it pays out at market value of the materials you give to it.
Permission granted.
So it doesn't
We look
actually
forward to
cost
welcoming
you
to our carrier.
anything realistically, unless you get a really bad deal and overpay for the materials that you buy in. But I think for me, and this might just be how my brain works,
Landing gear deployed.
having that figure of you need to transport 40,000 of this material, you can in order to successfully complete this. Having that spelt out for me is incredibly overwhelming,
Clamps engaged. What can we do for you today?
and it turns me off very quickly sometimes, because there's then it kind of quantifies your progress and how little you've actually done towards it. Now, the progress bar on my colony at the moment is showing 15%. Actually, I'm quite proud of that, because it's only been 3-4 days since I actually set up, actually deployed the navigation beacon, and yeah, 3-4 days, and I've been doing this on my own, which, to be quite honest, considering I accidentally picked, I didn't really know much about the colonization features, so I mistakenly, without putting too much research into it, actually picked one of the most expensive starports to build. Now, there's some other things I've read since that I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get any construction spots because of the starport I've selected, but that's an issue for another day. Ultimately, I'm invested in this now, 25 million into it, plus the materials I've already bought. Now, it's a chunk of small change, realistically, but I'll know I failed, and I can't do that.
Ship released, and you're away.
It struck something on something then, because I didn't lift off high enough. Just understanding the dimensions of this ship is something that takes some getting your head around it. But yeah, in terms of places I could have jumped into with the carrier close enough to a station, I think I've struck pretty well here. So it's only about two megameters away, which is a very, very short jump. Which means if I really knuckle down and focus on this, each of my runs back and forth between the ship can be literally less than a minute. Unfortunately, I'm kind of like just treating this a little casually at the moment because I'm also cognizant of kind of giving some kind of content to this video other than just me driving back and forth. Like I said, I noticed on the analytics quite a few people are watching this video after it's aired. Maybe y'all ain't got TV licenses, I don't know. If you live in the UK, understand what that means. So you can't watch live TV. Because somebody said you can't. And scrape the bottom of the hull again. Okay, so it's directly above us this time.
Landing gear deployed.
So currently my setup on this computer is actually Xbox controller. I do have all the HOTAS and everything in the in another room, but just due to my personal situation at the moment, I don't have the room to actually put it and set it all up. So the next best thing is linking the PC up to my TV in the living room, which ain't too bad because it's a pretty damn big TV, but it means I gotta play with an Xbox controller. It's a worthy compromise, but it does make combat so much harder. I'm just not used to flying in Elite Dangerous with an Xbox controller. It's not natural to me. I feel like certain games, there's clearly a lot of assists and kind of like the game gives you something to help you control whatever you're controlling when you're playing with a controller, because you do not have the amount of fidelity that you would normally have with, say, a HOTAS system. HOTAS system, the amount of fidelity you've got is quite impressive. But when I do get that set up, I'm thinking I've got a couple of options that I'm exploring. Either I am going to get a computer desk and a couple of monitors, because I don't have monitors as well, that's the other issue. They were lost or broken in the move.
Scan detected.
Oh, of course I get a trespass
area
warning.
immediately. We will be forced to eject you.
Yeah, so I don't have monitors either, so that's the other issue. But yeah, thinking of either something like a play seat or something like that to let it folds away, and then I can clamp the HOTAS system to it. Fix up the pedals to the floor and things like that. That'd be pretty cool. Just have to keep checking Facebook Marketplace until something decently priced actually comes up. and I'm not broke. But yeah, once I do get that set up, then there's a couple of other games that I really enjoy playing. Particularly DCS World. Playing that for ages,
Welcome, Commander.
and
Please respect our
haven't
carrier and
had the
flight
opportunity to play it in nearly a year, which is really frustrating for me because there was a few modules that I was waiting to come out for that. So, for instance, the Afghanistan map and the F4 Phantom. I was looking forward to them coming out, and I, just due to changes in his personal circumstances, I had to stop playing it, pack up my computer and stuff like that around about the time just before they released. So I haven't had a chance to play them yet, which is really frustrating. Of course, DCS World is a money pit, but I'm okay with it because you get what you pay for. You get a very, very high fidelity simulation of whatever it is you want to fly. So with DCS at the moment, I've got the F-14, F-18,
Landing gear deployed.
and the Apache.
Scan detected.
Before I packed it up and moved away, I primarily flew the Apache. But I do miss flying the F-14. So yeah, once I do get all that set up,
successful. Clamps engaged. Happy
I'll
to have you,
stream some of
Commander.
that as well. There's a couple of good servers with DCS that's kind of like a dynamic mission sort of thing. So I used to be a part of a clan for
Ship
DCS,
is released. Keep your throttle well until clear.
but obviously that's gone by the wayside with me personal circumstances changing. So, but there's a couple of good servers which so I think so long as you join their Discord, you can get the password for those servers and stuff like that, and they're actually very rewarding to play on. Because you, like I say, it's a dynamic mission. You kind of can pick what unit you want to fly, and just go have fun. And you don't necessarily need to fly with friends either. You can just fly on your own, which isn't hyper realistic in some circumstances. But hey, it's a challenge. So yeah, there's that. I used to do a little bit of Microsoft Flight Simulator back in the day. I've seen the new one. I genuinely don't think my computer will run it. Because this computer I built myself probably around about 6-7 years ago. It's showing its age,
Please submit a docking request.
and I haven't got the disposable income to actually go and buy or build a new one at the moment.
Approval
So,
granted.
for now,
Now proceed to
it
landing
is what it
pad
is.
10.
I might tackle something like that in the future at some point, but these are all long-term future plans that I haven't got the income or the time to actually explore right now.
Scan detected.
For now, you've got Elite Dangerous. Okay, so pad 10, I can see it up ahead of me now, that's fine. Just reorientate the ship. Drop the gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Just try and line up with the central spire a little bit. Lose a little bit of altitude now. Drop the throttle a little bit more, there we go.
Docking is completed. Please shut down systems.
So there's quite a few mechanics in the game that have been added since I stopped playing for a while. I'm quite eager to try, and that's why I'm trying the colonization bit, because it's very interesting, and it's something that I was hoping, like a lot of people, would have been released with Odyssey. Unfortunately, it was one of the cut features, as we all found out. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying having a go at it and seeing where it can lead, and I want to see what its potential is.
Ship is released. You may leave the docking area when ready.
Plus a little bit of motivation of having my own personal mark on the galaxy. Pretty sure if I entered the mail slot that slow, made no effort to a cleared mail slot, I would probably get an infraction. You can't be moving more than 30 meters per second easily. So this is the thing with the Panther as well, is that it's so big, can't really fit in a mail slot with another ship. Cool. My turn. So let's try it. So that's 32 meters per second. That's round about what they were doing. Let's just see. You see how I just kind of got pulled a little bit there? That's kind of the system doing its work for me. No, I didn't get an infraction. Oh, you do once you clear the toast rack.
You require authorization before you may enter this zone.
Right. So basically, once you clear the toast rack, it essentially wants you to start speeding. It's kind of a double-edged sword, really. Like, you keep getting told, oh, Amanda, slow down. Be careful, heavy traffic, slow down, or you'll get a water, you know. But please move along quickly. Which would you like me to do? This ship can do either or, it can't do both. So yeah, a bit of DCS sometimes. Really looking forward to being able to get back into that. Playing a bit of Ready or Not recently as well.
Welcome, Commander.
I also picked up a game I was kind of following in its development for a while, Sea Power. Modern naval combat in the Missile Age. So I picked up that a few months ago. I don't know, a few weeks ago. Yeah, quite enjoyed playing that as well.
Docking request approved.
It's still got quite a long way to go in its development, I think. It is early access at the moment, I understand that, but there's a few things that niggle me about it. Particularly coming from playing DCS, which has quite a lot of a strong realism base in its community, from people who fly want to kind of emulate realism as much as possible. I mean, there's a lot of real people who actually are in the military who play DCS, and yeah, the community, a lot of people really do like realism in there, particularly the community community I was part of as well really
Landing complete.
valued
Clear to
its
disembark.
realism.
Welcome, Commander.
So yeah, coming from something like that and then seeing a few, shall we say, artistic choices in Sea Power, kind of gives me a bit of a niggle.
Ship is released. Ship has liftoff.
Like for an example, I know it's a small detail and it's something that's like, you probably go, oh, why do you care so much? Yeah, bear with me though. It's like, the studio who develops the Sea Power, they do seem to like to showcase a lot of realism in the game. I understand it is more of a game than a simulator. If you want like absolute realism, like have a look at something called Sea Mano. Commands. I can't remember what it all stands for, but it's actually that's a relatively old game at the moment now. It has no means has any sort of like 3D graphics. It's top-down tactical view and icons on a map and stuff like that, and it uses but essentially that is a simulator, and they, like the units, the weapons and stuff like that used in warfare and things have all got realistic programming, like their engagement ranges, the amount of their speeds and stuff like that. There's a lot of data that went into the development of that game, because originally Sea Mano was was actually developed as software for the military, I believe. So like a war game software for actually marketed to the military. So there is actually a version out there that I believe is actually used by the military, that actually for like training scenarios and things like that, that actually has real classified values of a lot of weapon platforms in it. The public version you can get on Steam doesn't have that, but it still has a lot of information and characteristics of each of those units from publicly available sources. That's a simulator. It works with TAC view, if you know what that is, so you can have a 3D aspect towards it, but it's not like, you know, graphical quality or anything like that. It's more of a tactical simulator. Now, I find there's a lot of similarities between Sea Mano and Sea Power in terms of, like, it's kind of a similar thing. However, it's not anywhere near the scale yet. One of the things I like about Sea Power though is you've got the entire world to play with, and there is a mission editor in there where you can create your own missions and put a scenario in place anywhere in the world if you want to do that, which potentially be quite powerful once I get my head around of how to actually use the damn thing. But yeah, but one of the things I think, going back to what I was saying about niggles, one of the things that niggles me with that is the landing pattern of, for instance, like US Navy aircraft carriers. The whole game's set in the 1980s, so it's like that sort of era of naval combat, so Cold War era. So you can get like the USS Nimitz or the USS, I think it was the Eisenhower or something like that, or the Forrestal. US Navy ships from that, like carriers from that era, and they have complements of Tomcats. So think Top Gun. You know, in theory, you could actually create the actual mission from Top Gun, involving the MiG-28s, which are actually in the game as well. MiG-28s are actually in the game, even though, for those of you who don't know, the MiG-28 doesn't exist. for the film Top Gun, they actually used an F5, I think it was, which is like a training aircraft used by the US military. Yeah, they've repainted an F5 black with a red star on it and called it a MiG-28. In Sea Power, I'm not sure whether it's an Easter egg, a joke, or what have you, but yes, they have MiG-28s in there and they are F5s. But yeah, anyway, sidebar there. So for instance, yeah, you've got aircraft carriers with Tomcats on it. Now, playing DCS, I happen to know how the procedure works for landing on an aircraft carrier in reality. So that's case 1, case 2, case 3 recovery of aircraft on US Navy aircraft carriers. So I know the kind of process involved in that, which is slightly different per plane because the speeds involved are obviously different. So I can't remember the exact numbers, but yeah, you know, hats off to actual fighter pilots. They fly those landing patterns by the numbers, and they're pretty accurate about doing it as well. It's just something I didn't have an appreciation for until I tried doing it in DCS, which I know it's just a simulator, I know it's not reality, but if it's hard enough to do there, where realism isn't life, it must be 10 times harder in reality. But again, sidetracking. So yeah, the landing pattern, I know the kind of landing patterns that planes should take. Now in Sea Power, you can see they've kind of attempted it.
Permission granted. A landing pad has been
Or it
assigned
might
to
just
you,
be the
Commander.
fact that it's a work in progress and it's not complete yet. But the planes don't land how I'd expect them to land on an aircraft carrier. You can see elements of where they probably would, but they don't, and I don't know, that just frustrates me.
Please double check your
I'm
landing
gonna
gear.
massively overshoot the landing pad here.
Landing gear deployed.
I didn't mean to do that.
Landing complete. Ship secured. Welcome, Commander.
Right, so we're already at 8,192 units of aluminium, and how long has this stream been going on for? Let's see. I think we're probably around about the hour mark. Yeah, the hour 9-minute mark. So yeah, in an hour we're just short of an hour, and I'm not even really focusing on
Ship
this.
is released. And
I
you
could
are
do
away.
this quicker if I really focused on it and didn't speak. But then, what's the point? So yeah, I reckon it is certainly possible to transport 10,000 units per hour in this ship. If you've got ideal circumstances like this, like the station you're going to is literally a short 30-second walk. If you've got stuff like that, then it should be more than possible to do 10,000 units an hour.
Yorgon Peterson, Romeo, Sierra 2. You are approaching an Imperial facility. Please follow all docking regulations Request approved. You may now proceed to landing pad 3-2.
Just try and get it into the blue. Slow down. But get a little bit more maneuverability and then line up as I come into the mail slot. Just drop below 100.
Scan detected.
Speed itself doesn't so much matter to me, just so long as it's below 100. So I'm met with another ship there, and I don't have time to get out of the way. We collide. 100's kind of the point when I'm going to get an infraction for it. Okay, had loitering warning.
Deploy your landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
You have docked safely. Please shut down systems.
So on face of it, doing the colony supplying like this
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
is... I can see how it could possibly be less efficient because you're actually doing 2 journeys. But then again, you're doing 2 journeys anyway. Well, no, actually, yeah, you're doubling the amount of journeys because I'm doing this to the carrier on the outbound trip, and then when I get to the actual station to drop off the materials. But then I'm well over 200 light years away from my starport at the moment, so that is at least it's going to be like 7 or 8 jumps. 200 light years, I've got about 30 light years, so it's, yeah, it's about 5 or 6 jumps around about. Just having to do that back and forth on the outbound journey to pick up materials. I'm going to have an empty cargo hold.
Your ship is now detached. You may leave the docking area.
I'm not
when
sure
ready.
actually whether this is quicker or not. It certainly feels more logical to stock up a fleet carrier, jump it next to where you're building your station, and just drop off the materials, because then each time you're actually undocking and moving from the carrier to wherever you're going,
Landing
you're
gear
only
retracted.
spending seconds in Super Cruise.
Clear the station confines by order of the Imperial Flight Operations Bureau.
Shut up. thought we'd try a little bit finesse there, and you see this ship doesn't do finesse. It overshoots ridiculously.
Please double check your landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
And that was me slamming into the deck. Okay, I'm lined up. Oh, I thought I was touching the carrier.
Docking successful. Clamps encased. Welcome, Commander. Ship is released, and you're away.
Retracted.
A couple of times as well. I don't realise how actual high off the bottom of the ship the cockpit is. So there's a lot of ship below you, which is very easy to
Scan
catch on
detected.
things. Thank you very much. And a couple of times as well, I think need to be careful with the power play mechanic as well, which I don't really understand yet because I've not had a chance to have a look at the version 2.0 and see how it is that works. Just 1 second here. Yeah, so I haven't really looked into that yet. But I have had a couple of times some hostile faction system security ships, I think they were,
You are now clear of the area. Thank you.
just immediately open fire on me. As soon as they scanned me, they just opened fire. And then, for some reason, this might be an intended feature of the game, but for me, it doesn't make any logical sense. Me returning fire, when they're the ones who open fire on me,
Sierra 2. Welcome
and
to the
I
Imperial
return fire,
Please submit
I get a
your
bounty for
request.
assault. So I'm supposed to just sit there and take it, apparently. Like, the legal system in this game, I think is one of a long list of things that needs revamp. Oh, hang on. I didn't... Shit. That's me not paying attention. See how much I'm drifting? I'm full reverse throttle here. Fine games. Trespass. Thank you. I'm making every...
Warning, Commander. Please fly more carefully. Permission denied.
Eh? Oh, right, okay, so I've got to wait.
Permission has been approved. You may now proceed to landing pad 17.
See, that was me not paying attention. I didn't request landing permission. And when you're in a ship this big, that takes as long to slow down as it does,
Landing gear deployed.
it's more of a case of, sorry, I forgot my landing permission, but you'll have to bear with me because I'm coming through. I can't stop. And what the hell did I just hit there? Clearly I hit something. Oh, it's one of them stupid towers. Alright, so pay my 400 credit fine. Thank you.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
So this run will take us over the 10,000. So we'll have transported over 10,000 units so far.
Restraints released. Please exit the station at your earliest convenience.
I do want to do some more of the community goal before it ends, because that is just a way to make money. I do have a system already picked out that'll get me the CNM composites that I need for it, but I also need quite a lot of them for this. Now, if I didn't do any more of the community goal, wouldn't be that big of an issue, because I can always make some more money somewhere else, but the opportunity of the money I can make in the CG is very enticing, because I can easily make a few billion credits an hour. Having that much wealth really means that nothing is beyond you. Even having 1.3 billion is a significant amount of wealth. However, you'd be surprised how quickly you can burn through cash like that if you don't make wise purchases. Like me.
Hello, Commander. Stay below the speed limit and we'll get on just fine.
I was thinking of a name for the carrier. Had a read through a list of funny names. Thought, why not? I think someone called their carrier the 5 billion credit mistake.
A landing pad has been assigned to you, Commander.
Yeah, fair. Because let's face it, they're a very niche thing. Like, it's cool to have and all. Not that we wish there were more functionality attached with them, but it's cool to have them. But let's be realistic.
Landing gear deployed.
5 billion credits. And you still have to pay for them every week as well.
Landing successful. Commence shutdown. Welcome, Commander.
10,240 so far. So we need to do that, but we've just done about 4 more times. And this is where it kind of hits me and dawns on me. It's like, right, so I need to do that 4 more times just for aluminium. So that's around about 4 hours per. So if I set myself a goal of, if I could do one of those per day or 2 days, I think I can probably get this station built in the next couple of weeks. I'm not going to have it before the reset on Thursday. Probably a push for the reset next week, but the week after which is around about when, yeah. It's about how long I've got left. Right. We're running for about an hour 25 minutes for now. So what I'm gonna do, just for my own sanity, let's have a look in the system map. What have we got in this system? Few gas giants. That's always good. Right. I'm gonna take a 5-minute break to just top up my drink and answer a call of nature. So we'll just transition to be right back for now. When I come back, I'll jump into the Corsair. That's what it was called, isn't it? The Corsair. And we'll go and hunt some pirates for a little bit. Yeah, and then we'll end the stream around about the 2-hour mark, I think, today. It was more than enough time. And then that should bring me to about 1:30, and then yeah, I'll have a break then for a little bit. So yeah, I'm just gonna be right back. Get myself a quick drink, and then when I come back, we'll sort out doing some of that. Now my ship's no means fully engineered, so it's not going to be a spectacular display, but it's a little bit of interesting content because those of you who are watching after the stream has finished, if you've watched me waffle on for this long, I think you deserve a reward of seeing something marginally more interesting than me just going back and forth between a station talking all the time. So, be right back. we're back. Some fresh pot of coffee. And no limpets, so let's do something about that. Advanced maintenance. Just patch up the integrity. Oh, they're good. Refuel limpets. There we go. Purchase.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Full cargo hold of them. That'll do. Right. Now, this ship is a pleasure to fly. I will say that. Definitely enjoy flying a Corsair. Right, so we should have at least one resource extraction site. Oh, we got a hazardous one. That'll do.
Traps ready. Launch confirmed.
Yeah, it's day and night difference. Just in terms of maneuverability and straight line speed. Absolute day and night difference. On co-warrant scanner is going to be under Delta, so we'll have that on, ready to go. Yes, I don't think there's no, haven't even got any contacts on the scanner at all. So there's no one to interdict, but then again, I really probably don't want to interdict in this system, because if that gives me a bounty, then I can't stock up my ship. In fact, that is a very good point, actually, because is there anywhere close that I've visited before? Turn it on to there for now. Yeah, that'll do. I don't think I've visited any of these nearby before. Fuck it, we'll just do it anyway. I was thinking of maybe jumping to like the next system over. I really can't be bothered searching for res sites. The fact I've found one here is good enough for me. I'm just gonna have to be careful what I shoot at. Careful what I shoot at, then it should be okay. Just I've had it before where a stray beam or a stray few bullets hit someone else and gives you a bounty, and I really don't want to screw up being able to get anything from the station here, because I'm going to be docked. Well, my carrier's going to be here for a little bit of time while I stop it. But then again, in a Hazres, there shouldn't be any system authority vessels. So let's. That's going to be a pirate. Oh, maybe not. Oh. Used to be able to tell who was going to be pirates and who wasn't going to be pirates based on the ship names. And pirates would like pick a ship name like that, like Sorrow. Something has some negative connotations with it. I suppose probably their games are a little bit more aggressive. Who's scanning me? Defiant Pennant, you're going to be. Yeah, you're definitely going to be a pirate. Part of a wing of 3 though. I'm not really sure I want to take on a wing of 3 of you. Federal assault ship as well.
Scan detected.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. Like I said, I've not really engineered this ship very well. I've not really done much with it. I'm also not 100% convinced about the weapons I've picked out, because I've just picked multi-cannons and beam lasers for now, because I find aiming anything else is so much harder. But I'm not really. Yeah, it's quite pretty. All the planets lined up like that. Yeah, I'm not really exploring the potential of this ship. Say there's a couple of other loadouts some other people use that I think would be much more effective. Okay, he's on his own. Can take him on his own. Let's give him a kill warrant scan. Our hull's pretty tough, so we'll be okay for at least a little bit. Unless he starts firing missiles. Shields, try and get the shields back online.
Target shields offline. destroyed. Cargo scoop deployed.
So I'll pick up some of these materials, because I can always do with more materials.
Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone. Collector limpet expired. Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone.
We'll leave you in there. It will probably spawn an attack from
Cargo
somebody,
scoop retracted.
but I'm okay with that for now.
Scan detected.
There we go. Speaking of the devil. Cargo's worth a small fortune, are you for real? I don't think so.
Module malfunction. Under attack. Incoming breaker detected. Collector limpet expired. Cargo theft in progress.
Okay, you can have it.
Module malfunction.
Because now I'm going to leak limpets.
Scan detected. Under attack. Scan detected. Collector limpet expired. Scan detected. Collector limpet expired. Scan detected. Module malfunction. Scan detected.
I think that's where this ship comes into its own, really. It's doing the hit and run tactics of...
Scan detected. Scan detected. Public shields offline. limpet drone. Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone. Cargo scoop deployed. Cargo scoop retracted.
Certainly attracts the pirates, anyway. Yeah, definitely the hit and run tactics, I think, are best used with this ship. I do think heat management's an issue, though. That might be something I can patch out with some engineering at some point. Definitely quite fun to fly, though. That's going to be a pirate. actually seems to be pulling north.
Shields offline.
It's very difficult for the AI to actually land hits on me.
Malfunction. Scan
Because
detected.
my shields seem to last pretty long when I do like kind of hit front axis like this.
Under attack. Scan detected. Module malfunction.
Dead.
Scan detected. Module malfunction. Scan detected. Scan detected.
Alright, we're getting out of here.
Shields offline.
Two cores.
Engage. Shields online. Scan detected. Target destroyed.
Get out of here. Restock.
Engage.
That's what we call it for stream right there. I do like the bioweave shields, to be quite honest, on these smaller ships. The recharge rate on them is impressive. And to be fair, they don't... I think it's this 6... Yeah, the size 6 I've got in this doesn't seem to drain that quickly, to be quite honest with you. It'll hold long enough for me to have a decent part of the fight. I am struggling to understand though what the heat sink's actually doing. I mean, I know it's drawing heat away from my systems and stuff like that, but until I do some engineering, this ship generates so much heat that it's like I'm constantly going to need to keep using it. And I've only got 3 charges in it, so that's really... But yeah, engineering's definitely something that this ship's requiring sooner rather than later.
This is Flight Control. Welcome to our carrier, Commander. Permission granted. We look forward to welcoming you to our carrier.
Scan detected. Landing gear deployed. Scan detected.
And the shape and the curves of this ship, I just really like them. I'm sorry. It's all personal preference in this game, and I really do appreciate the shape of this ship. It looks like it means business.
Docking successful. Clamps engaged. Happy to have you, Commander.
Let's see what we got for that little escapade. $700,000 in local bounties. So probably with a couple of million there. But yeah, I just wish that combat and stuff like that could be as profitable as trading. I suppose it can do if you put your effort into it, but I mean, that's another story. But anyway, I think it's a good enough place to end right there. So if you have joined me through this stream, then thank you very much. For those of you watching later, I hope you enjoy actually having me speak